I'm Alex Cheparev, and welcome to Crashing Maya. Hey guys, this video is going to be multiple parts. My friend gave me these sketches of a character, and we'll go through modeling the character. First we'll set up a project and go through the steps of setting up image planes and modeling. So let's begin. First thing you want to do is set a project. So whenever you start something new that you want to, that you know you're going to be working for a long while, and you have reference material, you want to make sure that, and you want texture, you want to make sure that you set your project. So let's go to set project. I'm sorry, that's if you have created the project. If you haven't created the project yet, go to project window, and we need to pick a location where we're going to place the project. But first let's click new, and I'm going to click the folder icon, go to my Maya folder, and go to the project folder where I want to create the project. Click select, then in here we'll name the project. So let's call this one Voodoo Ninja, and click accept. So now inside my project folder there's a folder called Voodoo Ninja, and it has all the directories created. And what we want to do is drop our texture files into the source images folder. So this is our source images folder. That's what we'll drop them. So I'm going to just close this, grab these two, and drop them in my source images folder. I also named them, something that I can, so I know what it is. So I have the front and side view. Back in Maya, I'm going to save scene as, and this should take me right into my projects Voodoo Ninja scenes. I'm going to name this Voodoo Ninja MDL for model, or you can just write model, and then version number 1. And I'm going to save as Maya ASCII files. They're a little larger than binary files, but if something goes wrong, you can open in the text editor and try and fix it if you know what you're doing. So it's just better to save as ASCII for now. Click Save As, and that's it. Now we can start working. First thing, I want to set up image planes. So I'm going to go to the side view and go to View, Image Plane, and Import Image Plane. And this should take us right to the source images folder. Because we have our project set, Maya knows where everything should be, and if you put everything, all your source material in the right places, it'll just come up. I'm going to select the side, place it. Now when you create an image plane like this using the image plane in the view, you will actually get an image plane node inside the outliner, and you can grab it and move it. So I'm just going to take this one and move it up, and I want to center it like this. Okay, then I'm going to go to the front view, go to View, Image Plane, Import Image Plane, and pick the front, and move this one up. Now I don't know if the images were lined up in Photoshop or not, if they match, so we'll have to do a little bit of work to make sure that they do line up. First I'm going to select this image plane, and I'm going to move it away from the camera. This way, what will happen right now, it's in front of the camera and I can tell because we can't see the grid. If we move it back behind the grid, it will actually everything we make will be in front of the image plane. The image plane will be behind. And we want to do the same with the front. So looking at this, you want the grid to be in front of the image plane. Move it like that. Whenever you create the image planes, it will unhide your orthographic cameras. You can just rehide them. It's not a big deal. Okay, and I'm going to center this just like this as best you can. Okay, so they're set up. Now the next thing you can do if you want is to set up a layer for your image planes, and it will help with hiding and unhiding the image planes. You can also use these buttons, but sometimes it doesn't work as well. So I'm going to, or if you have multiple image planes, you want to be able to hide or unhide multiple image planes. Like if you have a front and back, you can set up a separate layer for front, separate layer for back. I'm going to select both of these. I'm just going to group them, Control G, and just call them image planes. I'm going to select the group and click this button inside my layers, and set it to R, that will make it a reference object and reference layer. I'm going to double click layer 1 and call it image plane layer, so that I know what it is. And now if I press the V, I can unhide and hide my image planes. So now we need to create some reference lines so that we can make sure that both image planes are lined up. I mean, another way you can do it is to actually just layer them over each other, but I like to do it this way. I'm going to create a curve, EP curve tool. I'm going to click, hold X and click here and here, like that, just to make a straight line. And then on key points, I'm just going to line these up. I missed this one. Like that. So and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate them and then rotate them 90 degrees. This way I can see them in both places. So now what I would like to do is line up this image plane to the side. So I'm going to move my pivot here and just scale until the lines more or less match what we have in the other drawing. And it's pretty good. I think this will work. Okay, image planes are lined up and we can start modeling. Let's minimize this. If you want, you can name them even further. Side, front. I like to keep things nice and tidy. And I'm going to save, Control S. Anytime I make any kind of milestone, I save. Or 5 minutes go by, I save. Just in case we crash. So we can start modeling. And let's start with something simple. Let's do the body. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make the body without the pants, without the clothes. It'll be easier to figure out the pose, and then we can model the clothes and all the accessories. So I'm going to hide the grid, and what I like to do is, this is the process that I use to create a body. It's pretty simple. Basically I start with a cube and I add height divisions of 3 and width divisions of 3 as well. And then we can start positioning. The other thing that we're going to do is turn on symmetry. So I'm going to hold Control Shift while I'm in the Move tool. Right click, go to Symmetry, and then turn on symmetry. So now if I select this side, the other side should select as well. And this will help us to start placing our vertices while staying symmetrical. And what you're trying to do is basically position where the arm holes are going to go. So like where you would attach the arms. So like there. Where the head's going to attach, there. I guess this would be the chest. This is the side. And this would be the crotch. So his pants are probably like this, so the crotch would be there, the legs would be here, this would be the top of this, the hip on the sides, and the waist here, and the stomach, like that. So this is a really good start for this, and I'm going to scale everything together just to make everything nice and square. You can look from the side view. And position also here like that. So I'm going to rotate the whole thing. Like that. I'm going to rotate the object. If you rotate the vertices, you will lose the local rotation. So I'm going to center pivot and rotate the object. This way I can scale in the local axis like this. Otherwise I would not be able to do that. Okay. Let's see. Going to use vertex selection. Select these. Move that out. Okay, the neck. And so now if we press 3 to preview, it looks like this. But if we now delete the arms, the legs, and the neck, and then press 3, you can see what we get. It's like a mannequin body. So it's a really good start. And I think we can start, we can move on from this. So next thing, I'm going to just rough out the legs. I'm going to start with a cube and just scale it like this. Let's pick a leg. I think I like this one better. Like that. Then let's rotate. Extrude that. Okay, so we need to turn symmetry off. There we go. Now, here I'm just going to do a little bit of a manual vertex snapping. So I'm going to select this one, snap it there, holding V. And I'm going to combine and merge, soften edge. Okay, and let's do this arm. The arm's going to be pretty simple. We don't really see the elbow. It should be right there. And then the hand is very specific, so we'll do that separately. So we'll just need to go just below the elbow. That should be good enough. So we'll place the elbow there, extrude this, go from the side view, let's rotate the arm like that. Now I know the drawing, the way the drawing is, it's kind of impossible to do it in 3D, so we will have to fake it a little bit. We can try and move the armholes back a little bit, but we'll have to kind of fake it and move the arm forward. So now I'm going to delete this face. There's our arm. And I'm going to add just a slight bend to the elbow. I'm going to move the pivot to the elbow there and just slightly bend it. There. We don't need this. And we'll just scale this a little bit down. Okay, so we need to connect these now. First we need to attach them together, so combine. And then I'm going to double click this edge, double click this edge, and click bridge. And then I'm going to go into divisions, set this to 1. This turned green because we just lost our shader assignment. Sometimes Maya does that, it's not a big deal. I'll show you how to fix that. For the curve type, we're going to select from linear to blend. And this will slightly arc our connection point. Okay, so to fix the shader assignment issue, just select your geometry, right click, click existing material, and just pick Lambert 1 again, and it'll reassign. Okay, so we have our start here, and I think it's pretty good. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to try and fix any long faces, like these right here on the leg, maybe here as well, and you do that by just inserting edge loops. So let's go and do that. Where's my insert edge loop tool? There it is. Go into double click, set it to multiple, autocomplete on, loop there, loop there. I'm going to set this to 2 now. Loop there, loop there. And for this, I think we'll have to set this to 1. Drop a loop there, loop there. Okay. All right, so let's tweak it a little bit. Now is a good time. You basically want to. The idea is to exhaust all of your tweaks on the simplest possible model. So like the least amount of faces, vertices, and edges. Once you've exhausted those, then that means it's time to subdivide or smooth. Okay, and let's just fix the armpit a little bit. And if the image planes are in the way, just hide them. Okay, let's extrude the neck a little bit. This will be the last thing we're doing with this model before we'll subdivide. Come on. Okay. Add a loop, an extra one, just to give it some make transition a little more abrupt. Okay, I think this is good. I think it's a good start for our character. We can of course tweak a lot more, but I think I'm kind of happy with the amount of geometry I have here. So I'm going to save, of course, and then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make a group called reference. This is just my way of doing it, and what I like to do is keep extra original geometry in this group. If I ever mess up or ever decide I need to get some more detail out of something, I can always go back into basically my reference folder, and it will have all of my past geometries, all of my history. And that way I also don't have to dig through old files. Okay, so now let's subdivide. So I'm going to use the smooth. I know we don't have an arm and a leg, that's okay. I'm going to click the smooth. And the reason we left a flat edge here is because we don't need any more geometry, because I know that we're going to subdivide, and when you subdivide it'll be split in half, and then we'll have that extra line that we want to have symmetry. So click it. Now there it is. Now you can delete 1/2. And we can mirror to the other side. So I'm going to double click the mirror. Where is it? Mesh. Or open the options for mirror. And if I look at the manipulator, it's pointing to the right in X direction, and the direction it's pointing in is the positive direction. So we need to merge or mirror in negative X. I'm sorry, it's pointing in the positive X, and this is where we don't have geometry, so this is what we want to go into positive X, because in negative X, which is the opposite of this arrow, we have geometry. So we click apply, and there it is. Now sometimes things will merge that you don't intend to merge, and to fix that, go into polymirror, go to the merge threshold and set it lower to 0.01. And you can see with us, we lost some, it actually didn't merge. That's okay, so I'm going to undo that. But if you have too many things merging, like this might merge, like if this was set to 1, you'd see something like that. So you just need to play with different settings in your merge threshold. Clear history. I'm going to soften edge to look at my. So there's my basic setup. It doesn't look like much now, but our geometry is pretty good, and I think this is a good place to stop this video, and we'll continue in part 2. We'll refine our legs a little bit more. We'll start thinking about hands and maybe make the head and the feet. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below, and subscribe and like. Thank you.